Welcome to the Toastmasters Experience. My name is Evelyn. Get inspired by today's Toastmasters insights. Enjoy the show. And welcome to another episode of the Toastmasters Experience. I'm excited and delighted to have in my studio today Anu Vijayan. She won the recent District 90 Humorous and International competition. And I've so many questions to ask her, but I'm going to start at the very beginning. What motivated you to join Toastmasters, and what clubs are you currently in?
I'll start with the easy question. I belong to Parramatta Toastmasters Club, and that's the only club that I belong to.
Okay.
And I have been a member for 11 years now.
Mm-hmm. And what motivated you to join?
When I first came to Australia, which was in 2012, everything was very new. I didn't know how to speak to people. All the stories that I had to share was so different because I come from a different culture. And I remember I was doing a self-help course. It was called Live Your Legend. And one thing that they mentioned in it was find your flock if you want to find and make friends. And they gave a lot of examples. And one thing they mentioned in that was, if you like speaking, find Toastmasters, join Toastmasters. And I had no idea what it was, but I knew I liked to speak. And randomly or serendipitously, I was at the library, and on the library wall, there was a poster saying, come join Toastmasters Club. So I joined, I Googled them, and I ended up at Parramatta Toastmasters.
Wow. So only one club.
Yes.
And you've been a member for 11 years. So you obviously like competitions. What draws you to competitions?
I love competitions. One of the main reasons is when you're in a contest, they don't give you other roles. So I can just walk up and do the contest. But then when it comes to speech, like humorous and international, obviously you have to prepare. I do enjoy the preparation side of it and delivering speeches after working through it. And once I started getting into contests and winning and going through different levels, I learned about how you polish a speech and how you make something better. And that really interested me. That was something where I found that I grow most when I keep working on the same speech over and over again. I become a better speaker when I do that. When I joined Toastmasters, I felt like I am a pretty good speaker, but my club is quite a strong club. It's one of the biggest clubs there is. And one thing that we often say in the club is, no matter how good you are, there's always room for improvement. And when I started doing contests, I found that to be true. And I learned that no matter how perfectly my speech is crafted, there's always room for improvement.
Yeah, I have heard that from people who compete on a regular basis, that actually competing has helped them become a better speaker than just staying within, doing the projects. And have you found that as well? It sounds like you have.
Yes, absolutely. Because the more you do the same thing over and over again, it refines, it keeps better and better. When we do the projects, it's a different one each time. We get the feedback, but then we don't actually act on it. We move on to the next one.
Yeah.
But with a speech contest, you actively take on the feedback and improve on what you have already done, which means it elevates your skills as a speaker.
Yeah, I actually agree with that. So you won this year. You won District 90, the Humorous and the International competition. Is this the first time, or have you won that before in previous years?
I won the International Speech Contest once before, I think in 2022.
2022. And so for this year, you were waiting for the results. Is that correct? To see if you were going to Canada to be in the semifinals.
That's right.
How was that process for you?
Oh, it's always nerve-wracking. You always have your fingers and toes crossed, hoping that you make through. This time, I was really hopeful. When I gave my District 90 speech at the international for the International Speech Contest, I was so happy with the way I delivered it. Like, you know how you sometimes deliver a speech and in your head, you're criticizing yourself. You feel, I could have done this better. I forgot this.
Yeah.
I gave my everything. I was completely happy with how I performed. I didn't feel there was anything more I could do. So I was quite hopeful that I would make it across into the next stage, but I came first runner-up in the regionals.
Now, I know that that period of when you win district to when you're waiting for the semifinals, a lot of speakers, they have to deliver a second speech.
Yes.
So during that process of you waiting, were you working on a second speech?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay, you kind of have to, don't you?
Yeah.
And do you have a coach? I mean, did you have a coach for the district win? And
I did work with several people. So I went on to different clubs. I also reached out to Verity Price. I worked with her. And I've got excellent speakers in my own club who give me feedback.
Yes. You obviously got first runner-up in regionals. And however, I've just heard that you're going to be at the conference anyways. And what are you going to be doing at the International Conference in Vancouver, which is on the 19th of this month?
At the conference, they have these workshops. It's called Toastmaster Journeys, and they have different ones. So the one that I'm presenting, it's called Toastmaster Journey Speechcraft. So I'm going to go and talk about Speechcraft.
And how did you apply for that? I mean, obviously you're waiting to be in the semifinals. And then when you didn't get in the semifinals, you thought, oh, I'll put my hand up for that. Or when did that thought come into your head?
It wasn't like that.
Okay.
I was waiting for my semifinals results, and out of the blue, I get this email from the conference organizers saying that we are happy to offer you've been selected to come and present this Speechcraft workshop. And I'm thinking, where is this coming from? And they had a clause in it which said, if you are a district leader or if you are in the speech contest, you're not eligible to present.
Right.
And so I'm still waiting. And I remember I forwarded the email to Michael Said, and I said, oh, I really want to go. This would be amazing, but I'm waiting for my results. What do I do? And he said, reach out to them and ask if you'll be agree to wait until I hear my results back. And they were very gracious. They said yes. And I had a think about how did they suddenly reach out to me? And then I remembered last year when the conference had finished, I had gone on their website to look at when the videos would be uploaded for the speaking contest. And they were calling for speakers for the next year to present. And I saw it and I didn't think too much. I just applied. I wasn't even expecting to hear a call. When I got that email, I had completely forgotten about it. And then I remembered, I had applied for this a year ago, and now I hear back. And so when I heard that I'm not in the contest, I was like, sure, this is a great opportunity. I'll take it up. And so I am going and presenting this workshop on Speechcraft.
Fantastic. Now, I mean, do you remember even when you applied last year that's something you said you wanted to do was something relating to Speechcraft?
They were calling speakers to present at the conference, and I had just finished being the president of our club, and we had run multiple Speechcraft calls. So I was fresh off that, and they asked, what is it that you can talk about at the conference? And I thought, well, I've done Speechcraft, I can talk about that. So I proposed it, and it got accepted. I had no idea I had actually forgotten about it.
Wow. So you're going to Vancouver.
Yes.
And so did they give you a time limit on how, are you prepared? Are you actually going to be delivering this on a big stage, or you don't know yet? You're probably going to go there and figure that out.
We know. Yes.
Oh, you do know. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we had an initial meeting. So the way it's going to work, there are going to be two other presenters. One is from the US and one is from Canada. And then there will be myself, and there will be one person who will be like an MC. And we got together, we discussed how we want to deliver this. Do we do it like a workshop? Is it going to be a panel session? We had those discussions and we agreed on how to do it. And from my discussions with them, what I realized is what Parramatta does, we have 4 Speechcraft courses at least every year, and our members all have to be Speechcrafters. Parramatta doesn't accept members unless they have done Speechcraft before.
Wow.
And when I said all this, people were, oh my God, that's amazing. That's not how most clubs operate. And last year alone, this past year, we catered to 103 Speechcrafters. We ran 9 Speechcraft courses.
Oh my gosh, the year that you were president.
No, this past year.
This past year. Yeah.
So when I said all that, they were amazed and they said, oh, could you do like a video for us? Do you have any resources? And our club website have got heaps of resources. So I'm creating a slide where people can like scan a QR code, download resources. And I also made a little video of one of our Speechcraft event and told about the different roles we have, like the Speechcraft liaison officer, the Speechcraft coordinator, all that. And I've put it together. So I'm really excited about this presentation that we'll do.
Wow. So what day will you be presenting your Speechcraft?
I'm doing it on the 21st, so we'll be doing it twice.
The conference, you're able to do it online and in person. That's correct.
Yes. But this one is only going to be in person.
Okay.
It's not
won't be
live streamed.
Yeah, not live streamed. Okay. How exciting. Are you going to have somebody there, like a cheerleader there from Parramatta to film you? That would be exciting.
I've already booked Michael Seddon to be my videographer.
Okay. Oh, that's and will this be your first conference?
Yes, this is my first international conference.
Wow, a first international conference, and you're going to be delivering a workshop. I think you have just won the gold trophy. I mean, that is actually more exciting than being a competitor because you're going to be prepared when you get there. So it might not be as nerve-wracking as if you were like a speech competitor. You know what I mean?
I was thinking exactly the same thing. When I was preparing, hoping that I'll get into semi-finals, I've got friends in Vancouver and they said, oh, you can come over, you can stay with us, we'll take you around. And in my head, I'm thinking, oh, but I have to practice. I'll be preparing for my speech. I need to be in my zone. I can't do that. And when this opportunity came up, I'm like, this is great. I can go around. I can just enjoy my time and I can just go and present. So it's actually better than being a competitor.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's actually a better outcome and better result.
Yeah.
Even though, of course, it's pretty cool to be, a semifinalist, but you can do that next year. So that's all great. Now, how has Toastmasters helped you in your personal and professional life?
I'll start with the personal. So when I first joined Toastmasters, I was struggling to make friends in Australia. I didn't know what to talk to people about because I didn't grow up watching the same shows or traveling like people in Australia do. So I found it really difficult. And by joining Toastmasters, I made so many new friends. I heard so many stories which broadened my horizon. I knew what to talk to people about. So it has been incredible in that way. I'm much more confident to reach out to a random person and say hello now because of what I've experienced with Toastmasters. Professionally, one skill that I'm really proud of is that all my meetings run to time, to the T. None of my meetings go over time, and I'm quite proud of that fact. And so during our work meetings, whenever we need a chairman or anything, people actually reach out to me and they say, we know you'll keep it to time. Would you step in at this last moment? I'm like, sure, I can do that.
I mean, the power of an agenda, you know, and keeping to time. It's so powerful.
I've got this confidence now. If people, how there are enthusiastic people who love to talk a lot.
Yeah.
I have this courage now where I can say, that's great, John, but can we please come back to the agenda? Or in the interest of time, I'm going to stop you. Maybe we'll take this discussion offline. And people have come up to me and said, you're not being rude, you're being so nice, but I'm so thankful you did that because I have a meeting right after this one and I didn't want it to run over time.
Yeah, I do like that, in the interest of time. So for those people listening out there, so if you are having a meeting or a conversation with whoever, that's a great, nice way to sort of end a conversation or end a meeting. Can you share with me probably the most memorable moment that you've had in Toastmasters so far? It sounds like you've had a few.
I've had quite a few. It's been incredible. But a moment that I'm most proud of is when I was the president of Parramatta Toastmasters.
Okay.
When I stepped in, I was fumbling. I wasn't sure of myself. I wasn't sure how I would do it. But of course, I had a lot of help from all the past presidents and other members in the club. And when I was the outgoing president, when I was handing it out and you give the outgoing president's address, I listed everything that we had achieved during that year. And I actually felt that I am a better person. I'm a more confident person. I feel like I had changed. This is like Anu V.0, O2. So that's one of my fondest memories of having successfully completed my year as the president of the club.
What has been something about Toastmasters that has absolutely surprised you?
It's how warm and welcoming the community is. I had never heard about Toastmasters until I stepped into the club, read that book and stepped into the club. But now I know that no matter where I go, whichever country, whichever place I go, there's always a room full of people who will welcome me like one of their own, and I can just go there. After becoming a Toastmaster here, I started looking for clubs to visit when I travel. And I found that there was like 2 blocks away from where I live in my house, in India, there was a Toastmaster club.
Yeah.
So I went, attended that. I told my mom to go and she went and visited. So it's just amazing. It's like you join the club and then it's like you've got friends all around the world.
What does communication mean to you in today's times?
Getting your ideas across as clearly and succinctly as possible. People all want to talk. They like making friends and all that. But honestly, people are doing a million things a minute. So if you are someone who rambles on, says the same thing over and over again, people start zoning out. Nobody wants to listen to a person like that.
Yeah.
So I think with communication, the way I define is make your point across so that the other person understands, but you don't overwhelm them with too much information.
And what are your current thoughts about AI?
It's here to stay. So we need to embrace it, understand how we can use it well. But I'm also mindful that we don't replace it for our brain. I made the mistake of trying to write my speeches with AI. And for the first time, when I wrote my speech, I gave it to AI and I said, make the speech better. And it gave me a very well-crafted, polished version of the speech. I looked at it and I thought, oh, this is wonderful, great. And then I tried delivering that speech. I couldn't remember it. It started fumbling and I was thinking, I'm someone who never has to use my notes. I don't memorize my speeches, but I'm able to deliver it like most of us are. But with this one, I didn't know what I was saying. And then I realized that's the problem. So you can't use AI to completely recraft yours because the way you speak, the way you sound, the words you use, it's not the same that what you get from AI. Yeah. So when you're delivering a speech, I think it's important that you stay authentic. You can use it to get ideas or maybe punchlines or get a quote or something. But I would suggest not to replace it with your brain.
You did say something that when you had AI help you, you couldn't remember the speech. So how do you remember a speech or how do you practice?
When I write my speeches, I don't have to remember each line the way I have written. They are my words. So even if the subject comes first, the verb goes second, or I change that, it's still the same line. Each of us have a certain style of speaking, the way, the rhythm, the cadence in which we speak. So that comes out naturally. So even if we don't memorize a speech word by word, it's my speech, it's my story, it's my knowledge that I have written on a piece of paper. So it always comes out. But if I'm going on a contest or something and I'm very mindful of time and I'm very mindful of how I want to pace it or the pauses, then yes, I'll practice so many times so that it becomes, even on autopilot, I can deliver it. Yeah. But most of the time, I don't need to memorize a speech. It will come naturally in my own words.
Naturally. Yeah. Okay. I was just trying to get any sort of secret information that might help some of the speakers out there. I think a lot of us, we do strive to, do really well at competitions, but we just don't know what that what that thing is. And I know I love speaking to winners, international winners, and trying to get any sort of advice that they'd like to freely. Yeah, the secret sauce.
The secret sauce, if you want to know.
Yeah.
It's the most boring secret, but it's repetition.
Yeah.
You keep repeating it until you can deliver it on autopilot.
Yeah.
But then on the day of the delivery, make sure you're not delivering it on autopilot, but you're actually present and delivering it in person, not
delivering it in your head.
In your head.
So, yeah. Okay. Just on that note, you're getting ready to go on to deliver a competition speech. What do you do the first few moments before you go on stage?
You know, when we stand on the side and they're announcing their, calling your name and all that, I have this little ritual where I go on tippy toes, like 3 or 4 times. Then I go on my heels a couple of times. Then I go on the side of the feet, inside and outside. I found that kind of helps to ground me when I go up on stage. And I still get nervous. I still feel the butterflies. And before I have a contest on, I have to run to the toilet like 4 or 5 times. All that happens. So I make sure I only sip small sips, don't drink too much water, all that. But this ritual of going on tippy toes and on my heels, I found it quite calming.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what it is about it, but then it helps me just not sway and all that, but actually plant my feet and stand and start. Another thing that I do is often we have a toilet. If it's got a mirror, I practice my facial expressions on it, not my voice so much. I practice my speech in my head, but then I look at it and I'll work on how my face looks.
Yes.
And I found that if I don't do that, I don't do my facial expressions as much on stage as if I had done or practiced it just before. Because when I'm on stage and I had just practiced it, I'll remember, this is shocked, like look shocked. Or this is upset, look sad. And so I'll actually implement that. So that's something I do as well just before my contest.
And sometimes when you're just reading a speech, it doesn't come out the same. So you need to practice it out loud. So those are great tips. So besides Toastmasters, what sort of books do you like to read, podcasts do you like to listen to that might help other Toastmasters who are listening to this podcast?
Recently, I've started going deep into the art of speaking and different ways of speaking. For the last 3 years, I've been going into the Raw Comedy Festival to try out stand-up comedy. And I've also reached out to other avenues where you can do speaking. So there's quite a few in Sydney. So I go and do speaking at different clubs, not Toastmaster clubs, but there are different organizations where they want speakers. And I found that when I do this, it actually helps my speaking overall, and it helps me become a better speaker even in Toastmasters. So doing stand-up comedy has started to give me a bit of a high. So that's something new that I've really enjoyed.
I've heard that you have also started a new business. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So at work, I did my Master of Research and I did science communication for 5 years. And what I've noticed is, maybe you've noticed this too, that scientists, they often spend many years finding out solutions. Technical experts have a lot of wisdom. But the moment they step on stage and start speaking, everyone's starting
yawning,
scrolling on the phone. And it's hard. It's important information that people should understand. But, the curse of knowledge often stops them from being interesting or making sure that their audience understands. So I've started my own business. I call it Influence Science. And what I do is I teach technical experts, researchers, especially early career researchers. I teach them how they can be interesting, how to make their messages memorable so that they can go on stage and confidently present their findings and people will actually listen to them and take action.
What made you think of doing this?
So my work as a science communicator, I've seen this over and over again. Okay. And I myself have fallen into this trap a few times. I think most of us do. We have all these little synonyms or jargons that we use at work, and we talk to other people in it and they just go blank thinking, sorry, what? So there are all those tiny quirks, and also there are a lot of skills you can use. People think, oh, I'm a scientist, I don't have a story to tell, but that's not true.
Yeah.
Yes, you have a story. Why did you decide to do this research? Or what is it that you had to face? Or when did you have to pivot? Those are all interesting stories, and people are more interested in that than listening to the significant point of value that you received in your results.
If someone's listening right now and they're a scientist and they're boring, so how would they contact you?
Or they can reach out to me on LinkedIn, or I've got my own website, but LinkedIn would be the best way.
Okay. And I will have that information in the show notes. So if anyone who's listening now, who is a scientist, and, sorry, I didn't mean to say you're boring, but you know what I mean. So, but needs a bit of help in presenting your material in an engaging way, you can contact Anu, and I'll have that information in the show notes. So yes.
And I want to say, not just scientists. Let's not slam
sorry. Okay. Okay.
Anyone who has to deliver a lot of technical details, or someone who's a real expert in their space, but others don't understand them. So you have to communicate anything complex. How to simplify it and say it in an engaging manner.
Yeah. I think that almost falls into all careers. You know, in all career spaces, everything's really can be quite technical and confusing in whatever space. So contact Anu. I promise you, she'll do a fabulous job. So I am just going to ask one last question, and I must say it's been an absolute pleasure having you here today. You're so engaging, and good luck going to Vancouver, and also good luck with your new business. But if there was someone who's interested in joining Toastmasters, what advice would you give them?
Join. What else?
Duh.
Join. When you join Toastmasters, it opens a whole new world. With Toastmasters, it's not like a course that you pay and you learn and you forget. It's something that you keep doing over and over again. And the beauty of the way Toastmasters is structured is that you're not learning only when you're doing, even when you're listening to other people, when you're listening to other people's evaluation of what others did, you're still learning. And there's so much you pick up without you even consciously being aware of it. Like, for instance, what I said with my work thing. It's not something that I consciously picked up and I decided, I'm going to be the girl who is always finishing on time. But because of the way for the last 11 years, I've trained, it really irritates me, and my eyes are always on the clock. I know we're running out of time. This person needs to stop. So you learn so many things that you haven't even thought about, and it really opens the world, and you'll just be amazed where it can lead you.
It's so true. It does open your world. Thank you so much, Anu. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for your company. Please tune in next time to the Toastmasters Experience.